Hello, beautiful people. Today we're going to dive straight into a topic that is close to my heart, but also not, and that is ADHD. And now the reason I want to talk about this is because I posted a reel a couple of weeks ago, and pretty much I said, I've got it written down because I'll forget, in a world where everyone is being diagnosed with ADHD, don't let yourself become a victim to it. Don't let it be the reason that you can't do something. And I was like, I really want to talk to this on the podcast because this is something that I have seen a lot lately. There is every man and their dog is being diagnosed with ADHD, right? And it's fine and it's all good. And like a lot of people I'm sure do have it, a lot of women especially. It's just that because it's finally becoming normalized, a lot of people are using it as a reason why they can't do things, which to me, it is just baffling. And I want to talk about it because ADHD can be a superpower if you let it. And the reason that I'm bringing this episode to you guys is because I was actually interviewed on a podcast about a month ago now, and I'll link it down below. And it was just pretty much to talk about my journey with ADHD. And because, for reference, I have had it, been diagnosed for 4 years. I tried meds for 6 months and I fucked it off because I hated them. So it was just kind of like, let's have a juxtaposition of like meds versus no meds and how we live and like all the things. And like some things work for some people and some things don't. So like whether you're medicated or not, like this episode can still work for you. And again, because I've worked with clients and I've worked with a lot of people that, you know, do have ADHD because naturally I've got ADHD. So it's like we're kind of drawn to each other. So this episode can still, I'm sure, will resonate a lot with you. I also do have a previous episode. I wrote it down. It's episode 18, which was about a year ago, where I kind of spoke deeper into my story, how I got diagnosed, because it was about a 2-year diagnosis, the whole thing. And then like the medication journey, all the things and how I manage it now. So I'll link both my episode and the guest one that I was on down below. So if you guys want to go listen to those first, and you kind of get an idea about me and how I live and how I work and how I do everything unmedicated. And then you can come back to listen to this one. But if you were here, well, obviously you're here if you're listening to this. I think I might just dive straight into it. And something that I really wanted to touch on is not letting ADHD define you. It's one of those things that I forget that I have it, right? Classic ADHD. I forget that I have it, but it's truthfully because I don't let it become who I am. So I think unless you know me and you know, I guess what are they called? Symptoms of ADHD, like you wouldn't know that I have it. Like I'm a very chaotic person in general, just in terms of like my energy and what I bring and what I do and stuff. And it's like, she's like, yeah, she must be ADHD. But if you know nothing about ADHD, you would literally have no idea that I am. And I just think it's one of those things of like, I don't become a victim to it because I don't choose to let it define me. Like it's literally my brain, right? And for all of you, it's your brain. The brain is so powerful and we can like rewire it. Not to say you can reverse ADHD or get rid of it, but it's like there's so many ways to manage it and there's so many ways it can be a superpower that you're not even realizing. Like I always think it's not like I've amputated my leg and I'm saying I can't run, right? It's just your brain, like it just works a bit different to others and that's so normal and it's so fine and there's things you can do to work around it. So just want to kind of reiterate that now at the start of the episode that like ADHD can be a superpower if you choose to let it be a superpower. So you can either work with your brain and like, you know, have a great life essentially, or you can choose to always be victim to it and then complain why other people are doing things that you quote unquote can't, even though you could if you just try a little bit more. So kind of a little bit more cutthroat, kind of just whatever you feel from the way that I talk in this episode. But pretty much in the one that I was a guest, episode 4, she actually said to me, she said, if you could give anyone advice, I've written this down. She's like, if you can give advice to anyone with ADHD that doesn't want medication, what would you say? And I literally said, learn to work with your brain, not against it. And like I said, this can be for if you're on meds or if you're not, but learning to work with your brain, 10 out of 10. So first things first, I'm not special. Like I said, just because I don't use it as a excuse, that Doesn't mean I don't have it. It doesn't mean that I'm better than anyone. It just means that I've spent fucking time and time again learning how to deal with it. And it's that thing of I got diagnosed when I was 25 after 2 years of like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Even though it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with me, but it's just like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Fix me, help me. I tried meds for 6 months. I fucking hated it. I was like, you know what? I've lived 25 years without this. I'm going to figure it out on my own. And that's what I've done. I've spent years figuring out what works for me, how I work best, how I manage it best, you know, what is my superpower with ADHD. Truthfully, the way that I coach is my superpower with ADHD. I would not have a business if I didn't have ADHD, because we are passionate, we are creatives, we want something, we go after it, we are relentless, right? That is a superpower of ADHD. If you want something, you're going to fucking get it. Your resilience, 10 out of 10. Like, it is something that, yes, there are hard days, but you can fucking go for your life and you will not rest until it's done. And potentially you're on the other side of it where you're like, oh, like maybe not, don't want to do that. And I used to be that person. And now I'm like, no, if there's this thing I love, I'm getting after it. So something to think about with that. Yes, I wouldn't have this business. I wouldn't have this podcast. I wouldn't be a coach. I don't even know what I would be doing, to be honest. I chopped and changed so many times before I got myself sorted. But yeah, it's one of those things that I learnt on my own, and I've become a better coach for it. And the way that like I said, I attract a lot of ADHD girlies. So the way that I coach is very much with the ADHD girly in mind. I know we get overwhelmed. I know we get overstimulated. I know that a lot can happen and we want to quit and curl into a ball and cry. But this is why I'm so big on pulling people back, and I'm so big on coaching in a way that's going to work, again, for you and your brain. So the way that like I do things is I don't want to have like more than 5 or 6 exercises in a training session. So I'm not going to do that for my clients. I'm like, I want it structured. I want it in front of me. I want the reps, the sets, the video demonstrations. I want everything right in front of me on my phone. I go into the gym. I follow that. Done. I also don't love cooking in the kitchen sometimes. I don't like being in there for hours. Let's say that. So all my recipes that I make that are in my client's recipe library, anything that I post online, it is all so straightforward. It is minimal ingredient. It's either a one tray or a one pot or a something that is budget friendly. It's family friendly. It all works, and I do it for a reason, right? When I run challenges, I do them monthly because I'm like, I don't need to overwhelm everyone with a different challenge every fucking week. It's like, let's do it monthly. You have the whole month, do whatever X challenge is. You know, commit to it as much as you can. It might be a month where you can't, so don't commit to it as much. Like, it's just like, take it as life comes and see how you go. Just like things like that. Like, that's really how I coach. It's just such a superpower of mine. And I think a lot of you would be able to stick to your health journeys, weight loss journeys, whatever the journey is, a lot longer if you worked with your brain. So again, it's one of those things for me personally. My brain, I thrive in the morning. I also have to move my body first thing in the morning. I've got all this pent up energy, like after a night of sleep. So my typical sleep is like 7 hours, I'm good. But I can sleep 8. I could sleep more if I've had a shit sleep the previous couple of nights. But for me, it's like I'll wake up and I'm like, I might be tired, but by the time I get up, I'm like, if I don't move my body, I cannot sit still. I cannot think straight. I literally have no idea. Like, I'm thinking, okay, when am I going to go to the gym? When am I going to go for a walk? When am I going to do this? And I think about all these different fucking things. And I'm like, oh, okay, how about I just go first thing? It's out of the way. Tick, it's done. Another thing, list every single thing out, right? My brain works best with a list. I will write a list for every single day, for every little thing, so I can tick it off and I can know it's done. And yes, it takes more time, but it works for my brain. Calendars. I have my own personal calendar. Technically they're both my personal calendars. One's a work one, one's a personal one. My personal one links with my partner's. I don't want to have to think about 10,000 fucking things. I don't need to be like, did I tell him that? Does he know this? Am I aware? Has he got this on this day? And instead of being like back and forth in messages, put it in the calendar. They're connected. We know what's going on. There's no two ways about it. It's like, cool, it's out of my brain. I know that it's in there. It feels good. And sometimes it's annoying for me to put things into calendars, but it fucking works. Again, even yesterday, my partner said to me, he goes, oh, like, where are we going on the weekend? What time? What are we doing? And I was like, oh shit, I know the rough area. It's for a friend's birthday. And I'm like, I know the rough area, but I keep forgetting what time and what we're doing. I was like, I'm pretty sure I wrote it in the calendar. So I went to the calendar, looked at the event I put in there, looked at the little notes in there, and I was like, yep, cool, we're going this place at this time, followed by this at this time. Like, so fucking easy. Yes, it takes more time, it takes more preparation, but it works, and that is the superpower for me, right? There was another thing I was going to say to do with lists. It was something to do with lists and calendars, and it's gone from my brain because ADHD. But again, I never say like, oh, I just forgot because ADHD, or I just didn't do it because ADHD. It's like, oh no, let me actually take a second to think about it and then come back to you. But no, it's fully gone from my brain, that one. So that's okay. I'm looking at all my notes. There's so many things. Other things that can be superpowers as well. So I'll go back to the morning routine actually. Sorry, the morning movement. So for me, my brain works best in the morning, right? So like I said, do all my movement in the morning, and then I can actually sit and think and focus, because for me, distraction is a big thing, right? So, and I think I spoke about this in 2 episodes ago. I got a new laptop, which has changed my fucking life, because I can sit down on the couch with my laptop and I don't have to get up to put it on charge. I don't have to get up to get anything else. I just get to sit and I get to look at it and I get to just fucking type, and it's fast. So when I have 10,000 thoughts in my head, I can go through my different tabs and I can open this, I can open that. And it's like the laptop doesn't crash and burn. Has changed the game for my productivity with my ADHD. I fucking froth it so much. Things like these podcasts. Again, it takes me so much time to write my 1,000,001 notes. But it's time that pays me back. So when I'm recording the podcast, I already get in my head about like, oh, does that make sense? Do you understand what I'm saying? La, la, la. I'm really self-conscious about articulation. I'm not good at articulating. And I think it's just because my brain goes so fast that I struggle to get the words out properly and I think of too many things. But I'm self-conscious with articulation. So I need to spend that extra time. I spent like an hour today just writing notes for 3 podcast episodes, which like an hour doesn't sound like long, but I'm like, I could be recording in that time. I could be doing something else in that time. But no, I use the time to write the notes because that's my weakness, the articulation. So then I can just go and I can speak. Again, that's working with my brain. I know I'm not good at articulating. Let me write notes so I know what I'm talking about, right? So things like that. Running late, that is a big one for me. Big one for me, running late. And I always run late, and I know I run late. So you know what I do now? I plan to leave 5 to 10 minutes earlier. The other day, I was like, I had to be at Chadstone by 10 a.m. And I was getting dropped off by my partner, and I was like, we'll leave at 9:30. It doesn't take us half an hour to get to Chadstone, but I was like, we'll leave at 9:30. And of course, I had a bit of a moment when I was getting ready to go, and then we didn't actually leave till 9:45, and we got there at 10. Which is perfect. We were meeting my sisters, so I was like, I'm not just going on my own, and like, I was like, I'm actually meeting people. So especially when I'm meeting people, it gets me like, I'm like, I have to obviously be there at that time. When I go to work, I'm like, I always plan to get there earlier because I know things take me time. I run later, blah, blah, blah. Another thing with my morning routine, that's why I go to gym in the morning, because I know I won't go at nighttime. Again, working with my brain there. And I have tried to go in the evening, even if it's to a class. I don't do well in the evening. When I'm in the evening, I just want to sit at home and not do anything. Don't talk to me. The brain doesn't work. It doesn't tick. So if I'm trying to do something productive in the evening, chances are it ain't happening. There might be random bursts when my brain just goes, go, 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 go. And it's like bang, 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 bang. And I might do a million and one things. Like Friday night, I did like 3 hours of I don't even know what, but I got a lot out of my brain and it felt fantastic. But generally, I'm not doing well at nighttime. FYI, speaking of nighttime, it is only 4:24. And if you're watching the video, I'm really lit up. It is so dark outside. Why is this Melbourne? It is like grey, dark grey. It's raining. It just changed so quickly. This is my 3rd episode I'm recording, and I feel like my screens are blaring in my face and they're on the lowest setting. So that's how dark it is outside for reference. So apologies if I'm looking really pale. But yeah, anyway, that's an example of working with my brain. I'm not good in the evening. There's other things of like, again, this is going to sound counterintuitive. Sometimes I'm like, if I've got things to do that I don't want to do, I will give myself a little treaty for it, right? Because I know I won't do it until I've got said treat. So for example, if there's something I'm going to do work-wise in the afternoon, I'm just like, it's one of those things I can't sit and focus on. I don't want to do it. It's not enjoyable. Like we ADHDers, right? If we love something, we'll put everything into it. If we hate it, but we know we need to do it, we will procrastinate, put it off forever and ever and ever until it's like the last second it has to be done, right? So if I have something I want to get done and I've planned it for the afternoon, I might have an internal battle with myself of like, oh, fuck, like I don't want to do this. I'd rather do something else. I'm not in the mood for this right now. Whatever it is, I will get myself a little treaty, potentially in the form of a energy drink. Not often, actually. That happens like once a fortnight, but like potentially it's that. Or maybe like a fizzy drink. I had earlier today like a decaf caramel instant coffee type situation, which has been my go-to lately, so random. But like having that is like, cool, I'm going to sit here. Like it's cold at the moment. Like we're in winter, that's why I've got a hoodie on. And I'm like, I'm going to sit here and just have my coffee and just like, do I need to do on my laptop and just keep it going that way. I really can't handle looking at my face so lit up by my screens, and I cannot make them any more dim. I'm so sorry. Again, ADHD, there's a distraction. But yeah, so giving myself a little treaty. Personally, I still sleep in the evening, even if I have a bit of caffeine in the afternoon. There's like a certain point where I won't have it past, but even if I have some caffeine in the afternoon, like I still sleep. And it could be that thing of like, because I've had it, I've like powered through something in like how many hours I've got, and it's tired me out a little bit. So like I definitely can still sleep. If you can't, that you might have to treat yourself to something else. Maybe an electrolytes or something yummy, but like having a yummy drink in the afternoon makes my brain work better in the afternoon. Cause like I said, I'm a morning girly. Yeah, there's one more thing on here, but I might come back to that after, just because I want to talk to you a little bit about more like health and like nutrition and training and health and stuff. So like if you, for example, again, this is kind of going to go back to like how I coach, but it's like, if you say you can't get to the gym because it's overwhelming, it's like, what can you do to work with your brain, right? Is it like, are you trying to go in the morning, but you're an evening person, right? Work with that. Or vice versa, like me. If I try and go in the evening, I'm like, God, no. But put me in the morning first thing, and I'm like, stunning. I train better at 5:30 in the morning than I do at like 12 p.m. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like things like that. You know, potentially if you feel like you can't eat healthy because like you're so overwhelmed and you're like, I've got to think about too much and what I want to do, like what I want to eat and all the things, like keep it so simple. And again, especially as ADHDers, we are very good at hyperfixating. I have been on my chili con carne for weeks now. The last 2 weeks I tried to test something else, and I'm back to my chili con carne. It is just so fucking easy to make. It's one pot for the rice, one pot for the whole rest of the meal. Cook it up, put it together in my containers. It's done. It's high protein. There's lots of vegetables. It's nice and filling. It's prepped for the week. So on the day, I just have to zap it in the microwave. Like, it literally could not be any more simple. And it gets to be simple, right? Choose recipes that are going to be nice and easy. Again, this is why I have a recipe library for my clients, because I'm like, I need recipes for them that are going to be easy, that are going to be simple. They are busy women. Some of them are ADHD women as well. They need high protein, easy. I've got the calories and macros there for them. All they have to do is literally follow it. I've even been using my recipe library lately because I'm like, I need stuff that's easy. I actually do at the moment. When this podcast is live, will it still be out? Maybe not. I was like, I have a recipe ebook at the moment that is live with some of my recipes from the recipe library. If you are interested, send me a message on Instagram. Just let me know you came from this episode, and then if it's still live or I can get you the link to it, I'll send it to you anyway. But yeah, nice and simple. You'll get a taste for how easy nutrition can be. And again, there is that thing of like, you do have to learn, right? And you have to spend time tracking and you have to spend time learning, but it can be done in such a simple way. And the simpler you can make it, the better. Again, use the same recipe, the same lunch the whole week. Keep your breakfast the same. You might change dinner slightly. When you use MyFitnessPal, once when you start tracking, it takes time. But once you've tracked everything in there once, it's already in there for you. You don't have to do it again, like you just get to click the ingredient or click the meal and then it's already in there. Like it's not as overwhelming as people make it out to be. So when it comes to nutrition, you think you can't eat healthy, you can. Trust me, you can. I just feel like maybe you're not sure what health is, and feel free to message me. Because again, it's that thing of like eating well gives you mental clarity, and mental clarity is what you need to be able to have your brain working at its best, like that mental energy to be able to power through your day, avoid any slumps, like 3 p.m. slumps. You know, there's a classic like 3 p.m. slump, tired, but I'm like, it happens to me as an ADHD. It's like my brain's been ticking for hours and I might have a bit of a slump. So it's like being able to fuel yourself well, have enough food, have enough energy for that, game changer. But yeah, I think they were the only two things I kind of want to touch on in terms of training and nutrition. The last thing I want to touch on, right, is what I said at the start about how like it's your brain. We can rewire our brain. It is so powerful, our brain, and it's really smart in a sense of like the way that it picks things up without us even fully intentionally doing it, if that makes sense. And it's going to make sense in a second. So 2 weeks ago, I know I did a bit of a life update and I was like, I'm doing a lot of nervous system regulation. I'm doing a daily breathwork meditation, like one of the two I'm aiming to do every day. I'm averaging at least 5 a week, I would say, which is a lot better than the none that I was doing. But yeah, anyway, I've been doing that. And the way that my brain, like I feel so regulated. Again, it's more of that mental clarity. It's like the brain fog's kind of gone. It's like that mental energy. Amazing. It's amazing. And the way that it calms your mind. And I know what you're going to say to me. I know you're going to say, Sarah, I'm ADHD. I can't sit still and do my breath work or my meditation. But it's literally, that's the lie that you're telling yourself. This is what this whole episode is about. Don't use it as an excuse to be like, I can't do this, right? It is a superpower and it's hard at the start. It is hard at the start. I literally said I spent so long figuring it out on my own because when I was diagnosed, it was not normalized. No one fucking had it. I didn't know anyone that had it. Women didn't have it. It was seen as a younger teenage boy thing. It wasn't a woman in her late 20s thing. It was like, I was like, what the fuck am I doing here? I don't know. And I still have days where I question everything. But learning to work with it and pushing through the discomfort of like, I can't do this. If you're watching, not listening, sorry, if you're listening, not watching, that was in quotation marks, of the I can't do this, you're making it worse. You're telling yourself you can't do things. And then how do you ever expect to be able to do these things? Like I said, it's not like I'm asking you to run a marathon and you've got one leg. It's like, it's just your brain and you can rewire it. It's so fucking powerful. And this meditation and breath work, again, it just doesn't, I pick follow along ones, right? It's on YouTube. Well, actually mine are from this challenge that I'm in, this like membership that I'm in. They have heaps in there, so I choose from those. But sometimes I'm like, I don't want to go into that. And you can go to like Spotify or YouTube and just put in like a 5-10 minute meditation. Truthfully, I don't even like fully drop into it half the time. I lay or I sit, whatever it is, and I listen. And all I do is just focus on my breathing and just let whatever they're saying. I will always pick someone that has a calm voice. Usually it's pretty calm if it's meditation. And it just calms me down, calms down the nervous system, calms down the brain, and the way that I can think more clearly is insane. My creativity the last 6 or so weeks, I cannot even describe to you. I cannot describe the way that it just like catapulted from like not 0 to 100, but I've always had to be a bit creative. Again, an online coach, an online business. I have to be a content creator. I'm podcasting. That's creative. I can't explain the way that it's like I struggle. That's the part I struggle with the most when it comes to being online. It's just the time and, you know, there's a lot of things that come with it. And I've always struggled with that. And I'm like, the way that I've been on, and usually it's like, cool, like I'll feel motivated for a week or two because that's typically what happens. Again, ADHD, we have an idea and it feels so fun and we do 2 weeks and then we go, don't want to do that anymore. But the way that my brain has been switched on, this creativity, it's been 6+ weeks. I'm feeling incredible. Feel incredible. I have not dipped. I might dip around my period, which is so normal. Again, for me, when it comes to PMS, I'm not really like the classic like cramps, mood swings, I don't know, headaches. I just notice my ADHD symptoms are that little bit extra. So like I'm a bit more brain foggy. I struggle to talk. I was about to say I just forgot. I'm forgetful a little bit more. I forget things often. There's one more that I've forgotten that I can't think of. I can't remember. Oh, my anxiety. Anxiety gets like a little bit more heightened, which again is so normal for a lot of people with PMS. But to me, the anxiety is like the secondary to the ADHD. So it's like, obviously if the symptoms of ADHD, like they're just like a bit like more heightened, then the anxiety is a bit more heightened as well. So it's just about like working with that and knowing like, okay, so I'm probably not going to record a podcast when I'm 2 days out from my period, right? Or I'm probably not going to do content when I'm 2 days out from my period. It's like, what can I schedule in on those days and how can I work with that? And again, there's things like today where this is my third podcast I'm recording and I've recorded heaps of content for Instagram. And like, I had moments of like, I can't be fucked doing this, but it's like, why would I not do it all? I put on a bit of makeup. I fixed my hair. I am still wearing my hoodie, which I don't love to in podcasts, but it's fucking cold in Melbourne. But yeah, I'm like, I'm done up. It makes sense to me to smash out all like the similar tasks together. And then say in 2 days time, I'll schedule all these episodes. I'll do the reels for them. I'll do the emails. I'll edit the content I film. Like that's my sit down and do all that, focus on that day. So for me, it's that thing of like focusing on one thing at a time, which can be hard when you're a business owner. You've got 10,000 things to do, but it's also the beauty of being the business owner for me personally, because it's like I have an idea or I have something like I need to do and I just run with it and I zone in on that thing. Like I know Monday mornings is check-ins first thing. So check-ins, I'm like, boom, I'm in on check-ins. Monday afternoons, it's a bit of content planning, things like that. I'm like, boom, I'm in on that. Like I know my routine and what I do on certain days. And you could say I'm very blessed that I can choose to do that, but also I worked for this. Like imagine if I'd let my ADHD, I think I said this at the start, imagine if I just let it rule my life and I was like, I can't do it because of ADHD. It's like, I wouldn't have got to where I've got. So yeah. Anyway, it is 4:38 currently at the time of recording and I've been speaking all day. So my voice is getting a little bit hoarse. I'm going to check my notes one more time as per always. But I think I'm done. So like I said, that last point was really just about if you feel like you get overwhelmed, overstimulated, anxious, stressed, really easy, breathwork / meditation, 5 minutes, even just deep breathing on your own, being able to just like get the heart rate down, calm down the nervous system, your brain space, the way that when you do it over time, like in the moment, it's also fantastic because you've calmed yourself down and now you can go and do whatever the thing is that you need to do. But in the moment, over time as well, it adds up day to day. That's what I said to you. I've been doing this for like, I want to say 12 weeks. Oh, wow, 12 weeks. Yeah, wow. And I've had 12 weeks of just like, I feel incredible. And yeah, even to the point of like, I'm excited for my next deficit because I feel really, really good and regulated. And I'm excited to see the results that come, which was a random thought. But to summarize, don't let ADHD be the reason you can't do something. Let it be the superpower that you need it to be. Work with your brain, whatever capacity that looks like. And it looks like trial and error. Trust me, it looks like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing at the start. But when you can learn to work with it, when you can even when you find your passions, like roll with it, put your energy into it, see what comes of it. I didn't know when I started doing my Cert 3 in fitness that I would do Cert 4 in fitness, that I would do nutrition, that I would end up being a PT for 4 years and counting, that I would end up with an online business, that I would be a nutrition coach, that I'd be podcasting. I didn't know this is what could come from it. But like I've said a million times in this episode, I would not actually be doing this had I not like run with that, had I not let my ADHD run with it, had I not built the resilience, had I not learned how to work with my brain, I wouldn't be feeling the way that I feel. So moral of the story, don't become victim to ADHD. use it as a superpower. If you're like, got questions, if you're like, how can I do this? Whatever the thing is, please send me a message. I know what it feels like when you feel like no one understands. And I still have days it feels like I want to cry. And I have cried because I'm like, no one gets me. No one understands what I'm going through. I'm so glad that there's more people that are being diagnosed that do understand it. And like I said, when I went on that podcast a couple of weeks ago, like it felt so, is the word invigorating? It just felt so good to talk about it and to have someone who's on meds and feeling amazing, and me just being like, cool, like, no, I'm not on meds, but I also feel amazing. And just to be like, I trusted myself to not go on the medication. And that was 3 years ago that I came off it cold turkey, and here I am today not needing to go back on it. So trust your gut, trust your instinct, seek help, ask people on Instagram, people you feel comfortable with, send me a message, like whatever it is, I want to help you because I know it fucking sucks. But it doesn't have to suck, you know? There are days, but it doesn't have to be every single day. And I know you're going, oh, yeah, it's easy for you because you did this, like you're a coach and you're this and you're that. But it's like, guys, no, I've done my fair share of fuck ups. And that's why this is why I said I coach the way that I coach. I coach ADHD people and ADHD women in general, specifically is what I meant to say there. I know I've worked with so many. I know how our brains work. I know how to coach through it. I've been doing it for 4 years. So send me a message if you want some help, just even advice, anything in general. Let me know if you found this useful, if it was like, oh, cool, like I really needed to hear that. Like, thank you so much. If you want to know more about my journey with ADHD, feel free to leave a comment, send me a message on Instagram, whatever the thing is, whatever feels good for you. And just let me know what you want to know. But I'm going to love you and leave you guys here. Don't forget to share on your stories. Tag me as well so I can see. And also hit the follow button if you aren't already, because I want to build up this podcast and get as many subscribers as I can. So I'm going to leave you with that, and I will see you in next week's episode. Bye.